This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley with the sinister grin, right? This malevolent look that's on her face right now. Clearly smiling after injuring Sophie Cunningham, man.
Sophie Cunningham was recently removed from the game by Bria Hartley after what appeared to be a vicious leg collision. She was then seen grinning on camera as Cunningham hobbled away in obvious agony. Was this a mishap or something more serious? Why did the referees allow it to continue? After a player was injured in yet another risky play, fans and even Cunningham's family criticized the refereeing and demanded accountability.
Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. But Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty player.
Online indignation is being fueled by Hartley's lengthy history of hair pulling, dragging opponents to the ground, and careless altercations. Discipline is now being demanded by fans and commentators, who are calling for an investigation and possibly a punishment. All of this prepared them for the time when Cunningham collapsed and the Fever season appeared in front of them, which was the turning point in their lives. Is Hartley worthy of being suspended? In what ways should the WNBA safeguard its players? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Come on.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
Before Sophie Cunningham collapsed to the ground, fans assumed it was just another ordinary possession. In the second quarter, Bria Hartley had pushed through traffic and driven hard toward the basket when her momentum went directly into Cunningham's right leg. Was it really an accident, though? Cunningham sank to the ground after instantly reaching for her knee. Unable to get up by herself, she flinched in agony, attempted to get up, and then fell again. As she leaned on their shoulders, still holding onto her knee, trainers hurried out to assist her from the court. She was sent to the locker room and disqualified from the remainder of the game shortly after.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. Scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
The responses of those who witnessed it firsthand spoke for themselves. Later on, Stephanie White, the head coach of the Fever, acknowledged that her initial reaction upon witnessing Cunningham's fall was, "Holy shit." It was the kind of astonished reaction that only occurs when a player's body is obviously not moving as it should. Replays in slow motion also didn't lessen the impact. They actually made things worse. Cunningham gripped her knee at the angle of contact, and a scowl appeared on her face. Players and viewers were left motionless by it all.
Indiana Fever fans wake up pissed off today. Pissed off. Not only are we getting assaulted, but they're smiling about it. This is the 6th time they've smiled, laughed, and cheered on our Indiana Fever players getting assaulted, getting injured. And it pisses me off.
The game went on uninterrupted by the officials, who never even looked over the play. That choice soon turned into a topic of contention in and of itself. Supporters criticized the officials for what they perceived to be their ignorance. Comments on social media accused the league of not protecting its athletes. Lindsay, Cunningham's sister, added her own voice to the criticism of the refereeing, pointing out that the WNBA frequently punishes players for speaking out rather than correcting mistakes that are incorrect. Paula, her mother, even went so far as to accuse Hartley of losing control in court, even if she later took down her message. Nevertheless, their displeasure mirrored that of many Fever supporters, who believed that Sophie wasn't adequately protected in a perilous circumstance and that the situation was handled poorly.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe
this wasn't simply another injury for Indiana. It was a significant setback in a season that was already full of disappointments. Aari McDonald and Sydney Cusson had already been ruled out for the season, and Caitlin Clark was sidelined with a groin injury. At a time when the roster was already overloaded, losing Cunningham created yet another void, leaving the backcourt unstable. In addition to her tenacity and scoring prowess, Cunningham's leadership had been essential to the team's survival. Their chances of making the playoffs now appeared slim, as additional pressure was placed on an already limited rotation. However, there was more to this play than what transpired behind the scenes. The impact, the injury, the reaction of the referee.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy for it. Don't sit here.
After a player with a knee injury rides on the floor, the camera pans to Bria Hartley, who is grinning. The issue revolved around that one real-time image broadcast and the seconds that followed. Fans jumped on it right away. This wasn't just a bad ops situation, in their opinion. As Sophie Cunningham was being assisted off the court, Hartley appeared to be chuckling. And that resonated with people on all social media platforms.
Oh, she wasn't. She was targeted by Bria Hartley, and that's just the fact of the matter. And people can act like it's not all they want. I told you guys this girl was a dirty player, and that's all she did today was show how dirty she is.
A contentious argument over a careless collision had now taken a turn for the worst. Hartley's smile at the same moment that fans who were already persuaded that the play was purposeful raised their eyebrows. It felt like confirmation when he smirked. That was the pivotal moment because it transformed suspicion into indignation and made the collision seem like more than just a nasty foul. It was the turning point in a story about responsibility.
Now look, you can tell Bria Hartley, in my opinion, she launched herself into her knee. She did. And I've seen some of the reaction online, and guys, it's despicable. It really is. There's a lot of people celebrating this injury. And guess what? You can imagine who it is. It's members of the old WNBA fandom, the ones that root for Paige Beckers and Angel Reese and Asia Wilson and all the usual damn suspects.
That clip hurt much more because of the background surrounding Hartley. Perhaps the response would be less harsh if this were another player with a spotless record. People may attribute it to a misinterpreted frame, excitement, or frustration. However, fans unearthed all of Hartley's baggage from his highlight reel. She was seen on camera grabbing Angel Reese's hair during a rebound earlier this year, which infuriated both benches. She got into a fight with Rebecca Allen in another game, which resulted in her being kicked out.
Atkins, 7 to shoot. Cardoso rolls, catch. Cardoso over the top, can't get it. Reese fights for the rebound, and a foul, and this time gets a little chippy, and a shove on Nelson Adota. And listen, this arena, typically we'll see some ringside fights, and Charles this time trying to fight through the official, points a long finger as both teams walk to their respective corner.
But we mentioned the physicality and that last possession, the contact being let go. This time, I think it was accidental by Hartley. And then Reese just with a big reaction. And Tina Charles, being the vet that she is, gonna stick up for her team. If you know anything about Angel Reese, she is going to go hard. She's tough. She cares about making a stand for her team. And I love the reaction from Tina Charles as a vet. You want to see your vet.
She has also gotten into arguments with Skylar Diggins, and other people have also reported fights that have been known as a pattern. While none of these incidents by themselves define a career, when combined, they produce an impression that is challenging to refute.
And again, the big steal by NECA, and they're rolling. Diggins has it, and the frustration foul by...
Therefore, people did not consider the resurfacing of videos showing her laughing following Cunningham's injury to be an exceptional incident. They drew a larger picture by aligning it with those previous disputes. Hartley is someone who frequently crosses the line and is considered a repeat offender. Fans and some writers have come to view Hartley as a dirty player. Outlets started to comment, relating her past to the Cunningham collision and implying that the league could need to impose a punishment in response. The smirk, according to analysts, was the turning point in a story that was already unfolding. Others emphasized how her prior transgressions had mainly gone unpunished, supporting the notion that she could play carelessly without worrying about the repercussions. Interview number 11.
This is Bria Hartley right here, grinning from ear to ear with Sophie Cunningham smiling. I mean, that's despicable, folks. There's no other way to look at it. Yeah, how about this right here? That chick grinning after Caitlin Clark got slammed to the ground. And then this chick. I mean, really? Unbelievable.
As of right now, Hartley is the antagonist due of that amplification. Referees were accused of overlooking the incident. Cunningham was sidelined due to a knee injury, and Hartley smirked as he left. By the end of the evening, that was the plot that had persisted. Furthermore, the consequences for Indiana went beyond perception. With a 21-point deficit still standing and an already weakened roster, they had to play the remainder of that game. The question then arose as to whether the Fever had anything more to fight, or if this was the breaking point from which they would never fully recover. It appeared as though Indiana's season was coming to an end. Due to an injury, Sophie Cunningham, Aari McDonald, and Caitlin Clark are no longer present, and the scoreboard.
An assassin! Kelsey Mitchell! Every game is a home game! Listen to the crowd in Connecticut. Final score in overtime. Fever 99, Sun 93. And Indiana completes the greatest comeback in franchise history.
The pivotal moment was Kelsey Mitchell. She only had 4 points at halftime, which gave little indication of what would happen next. She then lost it in the second half. After the half, she scored 34 points, tying her career high of 38 points overall. And she accomplished it with brutal effectiveness. 11 of 12 at the line, 5 of 8 from beyond the arc, and 11 of 22 from the field. Mitchell consistently provided the Fever with everything they needed to keep their season from ending. She started overtime by scoring the first 10 points for Indiana, interspersed with consecutive three-pointers that surprised the Suns and gave her teammates hope they hadn't had all evening.